let's start with Grant. Give an update on what we've been doing from his perspective, because we get to see Grant every so often, being that he's a little bit further away from us here in the mid-Florida region, being that he's in South Georgia. So he participates in different track events, autocross events. So Grant, tell us a little bit about what's been going on in your car world.
So if you watch throughout the season, I'm doing a little video on what it's like to compete in autocross. So you can see if you run a street modified car like me, or if you run any kind of car, you can see in my videos here what it's like to compete. You know, the type of people you're competing against, the type of mods you need to your car. And I make some cool videos, the intros, and get to see all my screw ups, and then all the money I spend, and then I get beat by like a $20,000 BRZ. But you know, it's all fun games. So, and big changes coming up to the Mustang soon. Be doing forced induction to it. Hopefully this Christmas, maybe next summer, but we'll see.
We're just hoping to put the Coyote in there instead, but
I'd like to take his motor and put it in my car, but
Voodoo. All right, yeah, we'll talk about that in a second too.
But I'll probably just put a basic supercharger on it for now.
And you've also done a change with your wheel setup also.
Yeah, so I run an extreme fitment wheel setup now, which has caused lots of problems. And in a previous vlog, you see I went over how I've just broken a whole bunch of suspension components and kept throwing off camber and all that stuff. You can check that out. But beyond that, I also do a lot of the technical stuff here on the channel. I do all the data telemetry and a lot of the audio and video. And I run the website and all those things, so check it out.
Mo, if you've been following his series, has been doing a pretty interesting project with his Camaro. So tell us where you are right now with your project since the last time we did an update.
You're asking an awfully tough question for a guy that drives a Camaro.
Oh, that's true.
Very tough question.
Is it running?
So
Chevy
no, actually,
people?
it's still running. That's good, you Mustang people.
Did you get all the dirt out of it?
Probably not.
So the last time we went to the firm, we spun into the dirt, and I thought I got
First
it all.
run.
I thought I got it
No,
all.
it's more than that.
And I was the first and like third or something.
Yeah, twice.
Once by myself and once
Once
with
with
Grant.
Grant.
It's because I left it in third, making that right angle turn.
You were going like
You could
40
put your
miles
car
an
in
hour.
third, because I know that there's a few people out there that could only get their car into second.
Very few people. Yeah, it's a special quality.
Is this an inside joke I don't know about? So, oh, never mind. That's a touchy subject. I'm not going there. So,
We're giving Mike shit because in one of the runs, his car is an 8,300 RPM red line, and one of the runs at the firm, he left it in second for some reason. So we always give him shit about that.
It's his first track day.
First
It was
track
first
day.
track day, so we still gotta give him shit though.
At least you don't go crazy and wind up in the dirt.
It's not on a PlayStation, which we'll get to in a second also. It's not easy to drive.
So now that I remembered with the Camaro, yeah, that car I drive,
That one thing.
that one thing, you know, with all the red parts under it. So suspension is pretty much set the way it is right now.
Thanks to BMR.
Thanks to BMR, huge thanks to BMR. They really hooked me up. They tested a lot of new parts on the car before they really gave them to me. And they installed everything practically except the sway bars. I think I did those myself. And let's see. The best thing about it right now, I haven't driven it on the track or autocross yet. It has a Watts link. So it's, who knows, I might be able to catch up to one of you fools now. Who knows? And I got
Maybe him and his expedition.
yeah, and
Catching up is really kind of a big wish of Mo's, because if you don't know the car or the power it's putting out versus some of the other vehicles in this team, it's a little bit.
yeah, you know, just from those tires, I went from like 65th to 28th in one of my videos on the same course. So I think I might have a shot in the top 20 pretty soon here.
Yeah, well now you just need power like me.
Yeah, I just need some power. But so right now we got shocks, springs, sway bars, torque arm, Watts link, rear lower control arms, tires, and wheels. Next up is the rear axle with some type of limited slip. I can't remember which choice I picked there on the build sheet.
It's a Detroit something or other, isn't it?
It's from Moser. It's going to be from Moser.
Well, Moser makes the axle. Not
Yeah, they're gonna make the whole thing. everything, balance everything. So
I mean, it's the same thing that I did.
and then it's going to come with rear disc brakes, and I'm going to match the front. So I'm going to be spending about $5,000 coming up here real soon. So let's hope there's no government shutdown. Otherwise, I'm out of a job. But let's see. Yeah, so that's about it for me. And if the money keeps on flowing, I'll have a ZL1 engine in it maybe next year.
Nice. And Mo is our resident Chevy guy because everyone else here pretty much owns a Ford. Scott's a little unique, and we're going to get to that next.
He has no
He
loyalty.
does have a Ford sitting right there, the big orange. I don't know if you can see it in the corner of the video. You can hear it definitely. It's hollowed out and pretty much torn apart in pieces all over the garage. I'm sure there's pieces over here and over there.
Yep.
For a while, he's been kind of lazy. He's lazy for good reason, though. So update the channel on since the Subaru and the Shelby you had in the past and where you are now, really.
So I recently upgraded from going with the Subaru. The Subaru was my everything car. It was the car that I could track. It was the car that I could drive to work, take the dog out, go to Home Depot, get mulch, do pretty much everything. I did everything in that car. Well, the problem was the car was kind of at one of those points where you can leave it alone or you can throw a ton of money at it. And the problem being a Forester, if you throw a ton of money at it, I mean, I'm talking about $10,000 to $20,000, it's still going to be a Forester, you know, so you're going to have some major limitations that you don't necessarily have with some Subarus, some other Subarus. For example, the WRX or the STI, you can fit a wider tire under that car than you can the Forester. The Forester is very narrow wheel wells, so there are some major limitations. Yeah, I could make it more powerful, but making it handle really well, making it truly fast would cost a ton of money, and it's still not going to be a event-winning car. So I decided to go with something that would be very cost-effective, very reliable, but something that would be fast right out of the box. And so what I did is I went and found a 1999 C5 Corvette that had already been pretty heavily modified.
Went to the dark side.
Went to the dark side and I bought a Chevy. Now, one thing I've always said about Chevys is that Corvettes are special.
This one is definitely special.
Corvettes are special. They're not like Camaros.
Sorry, Mo.
Because there's nothing that really competes with the Corvette in terms of Ford doesn't have an equivalent. If Ford had an equivalent, then I would absolutely have one, but they don't. Chevy's kind of in its a league of its own as far as, or the Corvette is anyway, in terms of being a true sports car. There's no economy version of a Corvette where with a Mustang and a Camaro you can get the, you know, the cheap V6 version, you know, like Mike's EcoBoost.
Yeah, EcoBoost on your car?
Yeah, that's why it sounds so funny.
Yeah, I have a Ford GT.
Or like Mo's RS. You know, it's the cheaper version, whereas, you know,
Excellent.
yeah, yours is a classic though. It's different.
Yeah.
Vintage.
Super.
Not quite yet.
Yeah. Porno red
Is
interior.
it? Yeah. So anyway,
Anyhow.
so the Corvette, there's no such thing as a slow Corvette. Even the base model Corvette is a fast, performance-focused car. You can have different stages of how fast the car is. You know, no matter what, you get a big V8, 2 seats, and that's it. You know, but kind of out of the blue and totally unexpected, I won a car. It's a Nissan GTR.
Funny enough, who helped you win that car?
I don't remember.
Yeah, so I found this.
I got a weird spam
sweepstakes.
email that was like something about, you know.
So I find this sweepstakes and I enter it and I'm like, hey guys, you guys should enter the sweepstakes. And then guess who enters? Old man McMurray over here.
And I won a GTR.
And he won a GTR or a
Yeah.
PlayStation.
As he likes to call it, PlayStation. Even though his Mustang has more options and knobs and buttons and things like that than mine does. The only difference is that mine's a lot faster, and he has to come up
This is
with
an
any
automatic.
excuse that he can.
This is an automatic.
It's not automatic, bro.
It's okay, I know how to drive a manual, so.
Yeah, if you want to see,
So funny enough, actually, oh, go ahead.
we did a video against Scott and I were out on the track together, and you can truly see how fast that car is. My car is about 405 horsepower and slicks, and his has near slicks and almost 700 horsepower.
You really want to see
You
how
can-
fast the car can be.
you can
want to
see-
be able against Muhammad and Camaro, where he gets a head start.
Someday soon, I will be avenged.
But yeah, so I now have the Corvette and the GTR, which is kind of odd, but it's fun to open up the garage door and see two very extreme performance vehicles. But yeah, the GTR is an Alpha 7 package, got just tons of stuff on it. The exhaust, full titanium exhaust, HRE wheels, Alpha 7 package, KW coilovers. I mean, it's got, from a performance standpoint, it's got just about everything that you could throw at it. The Toyo R888s.
Cobb tuning,
Yeah, full Cobb tuning.
Aeropovich exhaust. That's
Uh,
about the thing.
Yeah, I mean, anything that would make the car go faster, it has. So yeah, it's a very fast car, very fun to drive, but it's, you know, it's a little PlayStation-y in terms of it's all-wheel drive. You know, it's very similar to the Subaru was in terms of you go into a corner a little too hot, it'll understeer. But it has enough power to get the ass end out.
See,
for
before
sure.
Scott had the Corvette, he had two cars that were all-wheel drive and automatics. So I'm just putting it out there.
Huh?
It's true.
What?
You had two cars that were all-wheel drive and automatics.
Before the Corvette?
right? You had the Forester and the GTR at the same time, didn't you?
No, I had the Corvette before I
No,
had the
he
GTR.
got
Either
the
way, the
Corvette
Corvette
first.
wasn't being
Ha
driven.
ha!
Was that-
Ha!
He got the Corvette first.
Oh yeah, the Corvette broke though, so you couldn't drive it, so it was up on a lift. So the two
Yeah, 'cause
drivable
it's a
cars were all-wheel
Hey,
drives. And
All that matters is he let me use his Corvette when my car was in the
the
shop.
funny thing that
Exactly.
this car over here is for taken apart on purpose. It's not working, but the Corvette broke not on
That's
purpose.
true. I may have been overtaking a Infinity, and yeah,
There's oil everywhere.
there's oil everywhere.
10 quarts of oil everywhere.
It was great because they only
All
charged
kinds of
me
the
for a
$2
refill
volts.
on the oil when I got the oil changed. So, completely empty.
The one thing I will say about the GTR, I'm giving it a lot of shit, but I've always loved that car. The one thing that car does is, if you've been on a roller coaster and you go over that drop and your stomach just kind of turns, that's what that feels like when you hit the accelerator. You don't expect it, and you're like, holy shit, that's fast. And you're coming up to the corner thinking, we're gonna die, and then the brakes just put you into the dashboard, and it's
Yeah, the
it's
car
pretty
is
intense.
insanely fast. It's, you know, I mean, I get what a lot of people said as far as being PlayStation-y, being too easy to drive, but at the same time, it's, you know, it's when you're out on the track and you're in the perfect environment, it's addicting. I mean, because the car really is,
Yeah.
it's quite the machine to drive, but the Corvette is more entertaining day to day, and so you know it's really kind of one of those things of like, do you need to spend $70,000-$80,000 on a car, or do you only need to spend 15 on it and then have the maintenance of a $15,000 car
True.
versus the maintenance of the GTR, which I have learned
getting
is
it
pretty
calibrated.
outrageous.
Is that 11 quarts of oil?
Because it's
or?
a delicate instrument.
Yeah, it's 10.5 quarts of the transmission fluid. It's 10.5 quarts of like $100
By the
like
steel drum.
per quart.
They had it on
Well,
Amazon Prime. They had a big steel drum of oil, I thought, right?
Something, yeah, somewhere.
Yeah, but it needs its special juice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course it does. Special
Yeah.
juice.
I mean, that's how all the Nissans are.
Well, it comes out of whale
Nonsense.
oil because it's Japanese.
That's all the Japanese
Whale
kill
blubber,
whales.
the Japanese whale hunters.
That's exactly how the
farm
GTR
the
is
whale
fueled
for the
by.
GTR.
Ah.
It's lubricated by endangered species. Maybe,
Because race
probably, because race car. It's worth it.
Exactly.
It's bad for the environment anyway. But
you
you know,
spit out a lot of black stuff.
It's running super rich.
Every time it turns on, it's like
yeah, my garage floor is just
black soot.
So no, it's running super rich. I've been tempted a few times to get
It makes you look like you're going faster though.
Exactly. It's my smoke
Diesel
screen.
swap.
Someone
Yeah.
got a
That's what it looks like. It looks like a diesel taking off.
Someone got a
I'm
video
rolling
of
coal.
every
Every time.
Scott exiting at Cars and Coffee, and he barely touched the gas, and it was like whoosh of like a factory coming out of the back of his
Yeah.
car.
Yeah. I decided to roll coal on
Super rich.
all the photographers.
As long as you. Never mind.
So the biggest changes with me, I haven't had or driven a stick in a long time, which is why
He's
these
never owned one.
a-holes
Just tell us the
are
truth.
giving me
Tell us the
shit
truth,
for
okay?
driving
I haven't
a stick
driven
the
one in
first
a long time. He drove one for 2 minutes, maybe, at an Audi Experience.
It's true, I did.
And
in an autocross.
I'm pretty sure that it was one of the ones that had the plus and minus right there.
Not true.
So you just had to do this, and
It
there was
was
no
full-
clutch.
It was
so-
full manual.
Manual, right?
Hold on.
The first car I learned to drive stick on was an Acura NSX, and I would say that wasn't too bad at all, except for my dad freaking out that I was going to crash the car or something.
Rightfully so, because
Uh,
riding with him the first time I did.
Was it like the lawnmower?
Like a lawnmower gift, which I'm sure we posted the other day, but I learned on the Acura NSX, and I was okay, so I did the Audi Experience, which Scott was alluding to, and it was a manual car, which is why I had to learn to drive stick.
To be fair, I drove Mike's car, and his transmission is a bit
No,
strange.
the clutch. The
Well,
transmission's
Clutch.
fine.
So I have
Clutch
the
is-
GT350, the Shelby. As if you've seen other videos, I did a vlog. I saw the car be starting it up when I first got it. Did a track day with it. But yeah, Grant has a point because I drove Grant's car and
Mine's a
experienced the GT Premium 2008 clutch, and it was like it engaged immediately, and disengaged immediately, and it was definitely harder to push. Mine, you kind of come out like 75%. And you're like, where are
His
you
is
catching?
more on-off versus
Like, where are
progressive.
you?
You can kind of
Yeah.
get to a certain point, but his
So-
is just like.
It's a bit tricky, and
You
it'd be
just
my
gotta give it gas. That's why I always tell them, you gotta give it gas. You gotta burn it out a little bit
yeah.
to be smooth.
So I was a little bit hesitant going into a 500 horsepower car the first time, not driving stick.
I was hesitant riding shotgun with him
I
the first time.
have since gotten used to it, obviously, because I went to track day, but they obviously gave me shit for that too.
Because he left it in
I will
second
continue to
the
get
whole
shit for
time.
this for the rest of my life, I am sure.
He put it in a third, and then he didn't go
It
in
does do
second.
like 80 something miles an hour in second, which is ridiculous.
I mean, it revs high. What do you
Yeah.
want from that hybrid V8? It does sound good at 8,000 RPMs.
It does sound.
Yeah, so it does sound good.
Does sound
I'm
really
highly enjoying it. Being my first stick, I don't think I'll ever own or not own a stick again. A car that's automatic again. And it definitely be my first Mustang. I've really grown to appreciate all of the Mustang lineage more of where I've only like particular types of vehicles like the 70 Mach 1. Was that?
You had a Cadillac.
I have a Cadillac. I have had a Cadillac recently that I was autocrossing. It is the V6. Hey, it's pretty quick and it handled well. Obviously, I didn't. One beer and Scott's drunk.
Yeah. That Bud Light goes straight through me.
But my dad drive the Mustang, and he owned a fastback when he was younger. He had it built and did all this work to it. So for him, it was cool for him to get back into a Mustang after God knows how many years where he hadn't driven one. And he was like, "This is really nice." And I agree. I think they did this year.
Well, there's almost no difference between Grant's car and your dad's old Mustang. Whereas with your car, it's like a totally different kind of animal.
Yeah, I mean the engine builds that
Yeah,
Ford put
his-
out.
his
the
car-
Voodoo engine is
His car feels more like an M3,
Yeah.
like the V8 M3.
so right now
sitting
it's
in
stock.
it, it's like
But with more power.
sitting in it does not feel like a Ford anymore.
It
'Cause
sounds
you kind of
much better.
expect a degree of crappiness compared to import cars, and you don't get that anymore in that car.
I'm sure the baseline Fords, you still get the crappiness.
It's true. The S550 Mustangs, though, the quality is much.
Yeah,
It
they
is
really
the
stepped
top
it up
line,
this year.
so,
Well, it was supposed to be like a really true attempt at building a global car.
yeah, it did go
So
to
they had
the
to-
UK, for
Exactly.
the S550.
They had to do a much better job in terms of being a Mustang, and the car is actually, from what I've read, selling really well internationally.
Yeah, it is. And if you haven't seen, obviously they brought back the Ford GT this year, so I think that was all part of the same kind of let's resurge back into the market with the racing aspect of their business, because they've been winning too. Drastically, the GT looks beautiful. I've seen recent news on that, so I'm loving the car. You'll see more videos on the track. You'll see exhaust videos.
Yeah, you're doing the performance school.
Yeah, so that's another thing. Because I have the Shelby, I get a free day at the Ford Performance Racing School in Salt Lake City, Utah. So I'll be going out there in October and doing their classroom session and the on-track session. We'll be making sure to record all of that and have it on the channel coming up too. And then one of our other viewers, it's on the Ford Racing School topic, just got a Focus RS. He gets the same thing, so hopefully we'll get some video from him to put on the channel. It's a lot of cool stuff coming up. Anything else that I missed that's coming up, aside from us doing a cool autocross tomorrow?
Yeah, but we're saying tomorrow, but by the time this is edited and
Wait, we're doing an autocross tomorrow?
wait, what?
Huh?
But yeah.
So
go back and watch a video that was posted 4 weeks ago about a video.
by the time we edit all the footage between the 2 GoPros or 2 knockoff GoPros Scott bought and the
Amazon Prime
million cameras we have, it's going to take a while to edit all the footage. But keep in touch. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel right here. Make sure you like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, on Twitter, Tumblr, wherever media you're on.
Tumblr.
We're
We're not
everywhere.
on Tumblr.
We are on Tumblr.
We're on Tumblr.
Wait,
Follow
what the
us
hell
on
is Tumblr?
We're on
I have no
Reddit.
idea.
Find
What's
you a
Tumblr?
I
subreddit.
thought Tumblr was like one of those.
Tell me what Tumblr is
It's
right
a blog,
now.
goddammit.
Okay.
I thought it was for feminists.
I thought it was one of those do I look hot or not kind of
Listen,
thing.
all we do is just push from
Roast
Instagram to Tumblr. That's all I do every time. So we are on every type for the most part. Our website, SpectroRacing.com, is where everything kind of comes together as the hub. You can sign up for our newsletter, which is a recent addition. But keep in touch. And if you have questions or want to see something particular on our channel, message us. We're available. We always respond, whether it's on Reddit, on our Facebook Messenger, our email, SpectroRacingChannel@gmail.com. Just contact us. DM me on Instagram. I'm always talking to different people from across the world on different car Instagrams too. So keep in touch and let us know what we can give you they want to see.
Can I go driving now?